In 1975, a 24-year-old engineer built a machine about the size of a toaster. It took 23 seconds to record a single photograph. The image was black and white, just 0.01 megapixels, barely recognizable. Most people who saw it weren't impressed, but what they were looking at would change photography forever. That homemade machine was the world's first self-contained digital camera, and the company behind it had decades to prepare for the future. Yet it still ended up filing for bankruptcy. This is Kodak, and this isn't the story most people think it is. To understand why Kodak's collapse shocked the business world, you first have to understand how powerful the company once was. For most of the 20th century, Kodak wasn't just a camera company. It was photography itself. The phrase Kodak moment became part of everyday language, representing life's memories captured forever. At its peak, Kodak employed around 145,000 people worldwide. For decades, it dominated the US film market and was one of the most recognizable consumer brands on earth. Its business wasn't just selling cameras. The real money came afterward. Every roll of film, every photo print, every bottle of processing chemicals. Each picture customers took generated more revenue for Kodak. It was one of the most profitable business models ever created, which makes what happened next almost impossible to believe. To understand why Kodak's collapse shocked the business world, you first have to understand how powerful the company once was. For most of the 20th century, Kodak wasn't just a camera company. It was photography itself. The phrase Kodak moment became part of everyday language, representing life's memories captured forever. At its peak, Kodak employed around 145,000 people worldwide. For decades, it dominated the US film market and was one of the most recognizable consumer brands on earth. Its business wasn't just selling cameras. The real money came afterward. Every roll of film, every photo print, every bottle of processing chemicals. Each picture customers took generated more revenue for Kodak. It was one of the most profitable business models ever created, which makes what happened next almost impossible to believe. This is where the Kodak story is often misunderstood. The company didn't ignore digital photography. In fact, Kodak kept investing in it. Throughout the 1980s, its engineers improved image sensors, developed digital imaging technology, and built one of the world's strongest patent portfolios in digital photography. By 1986, Kodak had created a sensor capable of capturing 1.4 million pixels, an impressive achievement at the time. The technology was advancing almost exactly as Steven Sasson had predicted. But there was one problem. Kodak had built one of the most profitable businesses in history around film. Every digital camera sold had the potential to replace thousands of future film purchases. To fully embrace digital meant disrupting the very business that made Kodak billions. Instead of aggressively leading the transition, Kodak tried to protect its film empire while exploring growth in other industries. In 1988, the company spent $5.1 billion acquiring Sterling Drug, hoping to reduce its dependence on photography. The acquisition never delivered the results Kodak expected. Over the following years, much of the business was sold off at a loss. Meanwhile, competition wasn't standing still. Japanese rival Fujifilm modernized its manufacturing, reduced production costs, expanded internationally, and prepared for a future where film would no longer dominate. By the early 2000s, Kodak finally made a serious push into digital cameras. And for a brief moment, it worked. Kodak became one of the best-selling digital camera brands in the United States. From the outside, it looked like the company had successfully adapted, but underneath that success was a business model that no longer worked. Film generated revenue every time customers bought another roll, developed photos, or purchased printing supplies. Digital cameras didn't. Customers bought the camera once and could take thousands of photos without buying film again. The steady stream of high-margin revenue that had powered Kodak for decades was disappearing. Then came smartphones. Almost overnight, people no longer needed a separate camera for everyday photography. The digital camera market began shrinking rapidly. Kodak found itself trapped between two revolutions. What makes Kodak's story unforgettable isn't that it failed to predict the future. It helped invent it. Its engineers saw digital photography before almost anyone else. The technology wasn't the problem. The challenge was transforming a business that had been built for a different world. Kodak reminds us that innovation alone isn't enough. Sometimes the hardest part isn't creating the future. It's being willing to replace the past before someone else does it for you. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Boardroom Stories for more true business documentaries about the companies that shape the world and the decisions that change their fate forever. Because behind every billion-dollar company, there's a boardroom decision that changed everything.